everybody. Welcome to the Fired Up with CJ show. We're with Kim Stanwood Terranova, and we're talking about her book, The Technology of Intention. We're on part 3 of our conversation and how you can use the power of intention. In this case, dealing with the emotions of anger, fear, blame, judgment, which seems to be arising in our current society right now in the U.S., particularly with political things happening. So, what are some of the practice to help us keep centered and some tools that you would recommend?
Right now more than ever, it's really important for us to be in intention. See,
Mm-hmm.
intentions are active and we're creating our lives based on them. And they're infused with spirit so that we have assistance in creating them in ways that we don't even know how, which is the difference between goals and intentions. Goals are very much, we can see what they are, we can create them, and we say, that's my goal. And then we take the steps to create it. They always have a specific outcome, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Now, that's not bad. Nothing's bad about that. Why
Mm-hmm.
I prefer intentions is because intentions are lasered statements that are aimed in the qualities we wish: freedom, joy, forgiveness, understanding, financial abundance, safety in my home, to stay calm and centered in a changing world. Now, in part of intentions, we're setting them out into the universal field of consciousness and where to let go. And spirit is assisting us to create them. So they're a
Mm-hmm.
co creative process.
Mm-hmm.
So, with that in mind, right now is so important to be an intention because in a changing world, we still have choice to stay centered. We
Mm-hmm.
do not have to be caught on the reactionary chain and anything that keeps us stuck. But to do that, if we have an intention each day to know where am I at right now, if I feel scared, then I want an intention for safety. If I feel nervous about what's happening outside in the world, then I want to be strong and clear in my mind and heart so that I'm responding from my authentic nature, not from what I think others are doing. Like we have a choice to see the political world right now, to see our health world, and still stand and know there's a solution and I'm aiming for that. So what's my participation? To stay
Mm-hmm.
strong, clear, centered, so that I could listen and move in the highest good for all concerned instead of the reaction. So often when in our world right now, all these reactions of upset, which I understand it's a very bumpy time, but it's necessary to keep coming back to calm response, calm response, calm response. What's the action of my calm response that activates change more than a reaction that ignites more upset?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's say that if you think about anger, blame, judgment, the opposite from anger is maybe love. The opposite of blame is like compassion, maybe. I'm trying to figure out some of the qualities that you talk about.
Acceptance,
So,
love, acceptance, trusting the journey we are upon, standing in the truth in the midst of change. Anything like that would keep us centered while this is occurring outside of us. Our job is to not get hooked into the reactionary field.
hmm okay, got it. So let's actually go. I want particularly what seems to be triggering. I literally have walked by signs that say, like, stop the lying. Okay, so there's this kind of, so let's go into standing in truth because it seems like that's the one that infuriates people the most on either side of the political spectrum. So let's say that, we see a sign and it's the opposite one of our political belief and it triggers us and we were like, oh, what are they talking about the truth? So how can we at that moment stand in truth?
Beautiful. One, that we must implement practices that keeps us off that reaction. Second, we got off to that reaction and reacted to that sign, an inanimate object, but we reacted to it, right? Because it has
Mm-hmm.
is that we must come back to taking a huge deep breath to neutralize the reaction. This is where I call it we have an observation deck. We observe ourselves and we neutralize the reactionary patterns so we could come back and go, what do I know to be true right now? What do I choose? What is a path to honor myself right now that I could stay centered and have a conversations versus a reactionary hit back at somebody to defend. Once we go into defend, we got two people defending each other versus
Mhm.
we can't
Mhm.
hear anymore when we're defending because
Mhm.
we've lost, and I want to say we minimized
Mhm.
our space of here. We can learn to hear each other. We may not agree. Doesn't mean we have to agree, but we gain understanding by hearing.
Right.
That we could look at someone and say, okay, I'm trying to understand your position there. I don't agree with it, but I'm trying to understand it so I could learn to grow to stay centered in calm response versus react.
Mm.
Once we react, we are out of our power. So if
Mm.
we're out of our power, how could we be in choice to assist others and ourselves to have, choices that impact humanity to the best of our ability?
Okay.
There's just this bumpy ground.
Right. Okay, I love it. We have been talking to Kim Stanwood Terranova about current events, and which are perfect ways of kind of okay. It's one thing writing a book, but now let's live these. And what I love about all of your ideas is like, how do you live into your life, your lived experience, and the crazy life that we are now finding ourselves amidst. Kim Stanwood Terranova is the author of the book, The Technology of Intention. Thank you so much for being here.
It means so much to me that you're listening to the show. I would love your support in any way by giving me comments below or to subscribe to the show or share the show with friends. Thank you again for your support. Love and blessings.